Hi, hi Gina, how you doing? Hi, it's Lynn from Tinker Tarot and Cartomancy. And okay, so let me get a look at this so it's better here so you can see it a lot better. And I might even bring it in closer if I can. Right up front. Oops, nope, that way. Okay. So, anyhow, welcome. And I'm doing this video about our journey right now. So we've just come out of the 8, that eclipse. And this year is all an 8. The whole year is an 8. I shouldn't get started too quickly because I know it's not even 1:45 yet. I got a couple of minutes till I'm supposed to start. But anyway, this is what we're talking about. In the 8, there's rebirth. There's something born out of that. These two opposites, the sun and the moon, the male and the female, the yin and the yang. And in some ways, at first when we're going through this 8, we're being pulled in both directions. We haven't completely reborn yet. Hi, Max. Happy Monday. And so this is in this video, it's about that rebirth. It's about that becoming the seeker now. Before you were gestating, gestating and not knowing, you were going through stuff from the past and the present and knew you wanted something new, but what? What? Right? Anyway, I'm trying to let my hair heal from dyeing it blonde for so many years now. I'm going to go back to my natural color. And so all I can do I can't straighten it or curl it. They say I've damaged it too much. So all I could do is put curlers in after I shower. And this is what I get. I don't know really. I have to deal with it though. But anyway, it's Monday, right? It's Monday. So, okay, it's 1:45. I can get on with it. So I use the tarot because I know you really miss the tarot in the example. Thanks, Max, very much. I know you miss the tarot, and I'm using it in this example to explain the first 3 steps of our journey now. We're coming out of the womb, sort of thing, okay? And where are we going now? How do we get there? What do we do? And so I'm wanting to go through the steps with you because some of us don't know where do I go from here? How do I take the next step? And the major arcana is a really good example of explaining the journey of ourselves when we begin something new, a big life change. The major arcana is about major events in our lives, major changes, re-beginning a cycle again, starting a new cycle. So in the first step, because we were at 0, right? We were at 0, and the Fool is kind of 0, just where we begin. We haven't taken a step yet. And the Fool is eager to begin, to get on the way. Let's go and do that, whatever it is we're going to do. But the Fool is going into the unknown. They don't, Carmela, don't start or I'll shut that curtain. Hey. So the Fool doesn't know where they're going. They are going into an unfamiliar terrain. Okay, never been there before, like all of us. So the Fool is the seeker. The Fool is the apprentice, beginning something new, doesn't know about it, how to do it, where to go, has to be told everything. And it's also a time when you're asking a lot of questions, you're curious, you want to learn. So, and it's in the here and now, Carmela. It's in the here and now. The Fool is here, present, right now, where you are. Okay. Now, some of you are beginning at the Fool, but there's 3 cycles in the tarot. Where's my notes for that? I've got so many notes, it's not funny. So there's not just in the tarot, but in many different cultures and many different ideas, there's 3 different cycles. So what do I have here? The first is Middle Earth, where we are here in the present, okay? The second is the underworld, where we go into the unconscious and we await some sort of vision, some sort of clarity, you know? And then the third is the upper world, okay? In the first cycle, we're building character. We're becoming who we are. And for some of you, that's in us, that was in our 20s and 30s, who figuring out who we were and finding our way, building character. And in the second cycle, we stop our striving. We wait. You know, it's kind of a waiting period between 40 and 60 years of age, where you're not striving, you know who you are pretty much, you know what I mean? And then the third cycle is the path to elimination, where you have clear sight and you accept things as they are. You have gained a lot of wisdom, you know, and aren't trying to make it what you want it to be. It is what it is. Okay. So, and I also talked about the labyrinth a little bit in the last video. And I was saying how we are entering the labyrinth, okay? We don't know where the center is, where our higher selves, that wisdom, you know, we don't know where that is. We have to go through this labyrinth and try and find our way. And we may come to a dead end. We may have gone the wrong way and we have to come back and start again and try a new direction. Right on. Well, really, it's really nice to hear from you, Spirits Corner. I didn't see, I love when new people come on because I haven't spoke to half my audience, like maybe half, but it's so nice to see and, you know, hear new faces. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyhow, so the Fool starts already with the tools that he or she needs, okay? In the Fool, he's carrying a wand already. All right, you see that? He's carrying a wand, and the wand is our ego. It's oh, I know. I already know this stuff, but sometimes and it's the action, it's the drive, you know, and the passion, right? And that's all represented in the wand. So he's already carrying that with him. And in his little sack are the other elements: the cup, the sword, and the coin, that all represents parts of the self. And he's taking his tools in his little satchel with him on his way, okay? And he's not really thinking about it. He's just going off into the unknown, ready to take a risk. Okay. So some of you are beginning at the Fool, and others of you are beginning at the Lovers, at the beginning of the second cycle. Okay. Some of you are beginning at the third cycle, the Fairlet or Temperance. Okay. Either way, it is an apprenticeship. It's a new beginning. She's starting to um, mess with medicines and test out new ideas and test out new theories. She's ready to become, she's looking for that rainbow, you know, she's looking for that new beginning too. And so she's testing things. She's trying to gain balance between her mind and heart. And in the Lovers, it's, we have decided to take a risk and go with something that is, because we we have other sides to ourselves, and it's in the Lovers, we're making a choice. We're choosing this path. We know we feel passionately about it, and it's what we want right now. We don't care what the odds are against us. We're going for it. Okay. So it's this new burst of passion and new burst of apprenticing, learning, and risks. Okay. So, and so all of these top ones, which I'm going to get to, are this is the first stage of the cycle: 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2, however you want to call it. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. These are all, no matter which stage you're starting in, this is the probable cycle that you're going to go through. It's probable. Okay. I've done the math. So you begin as the Fool. You want to go out into the unknown. You want to seek new things. You're not exactly sure what, but you pack your bag and you're ready to go, and you're ready to take a risk. You have your friendly dog, and the dog is there to help you, keep you company, try and warn you, which brings us into the next stage of the cycle. So at that second part, you are making the plan. Okay. So, and the plan is, like I said, sometimes to make the plan ahead, we have to think about where we came from. And I know I don't want to be a secretary anymore, or I know I don't want to stay around the house anymore. I know I don't want to be by myself anymore. I know I don't want this. So what is the opposite of that? I want more people in my life. I want to seek out a completely different career in medicine or in, gardening, whatever. Okay. And so this, you're asking yourself, what is the plan? All right. And you're figuring out what your resources are too. So you're thinking about, okay, what do I have to offer? What do I have? What do I have right now? Okay, at my fingertips to make this plan go into action. So I've got a car, I've got skills, I'm a nice person. I'm, you think about what you have to offer. Okay. And that's what the magician is doing. He's laying down all his tools on the table here. And he realizes, he has, with the wand, he's got the passion and he's ready to take action. With the cup, oh, where's my notes? Oh, it's the desire. You have hopes and dreams, and the desire to partner up with someone, whether in business or in love. You're open to relationships. Okay. With the knife or the sword, this is your strategic mind, thinking things over, figuring out, if I did this or if I went that way, or who do I need to talk to? What do I need to look up? What do I need to find out more about? The investigation part, you and also perhaps your fears, what of because your mind can sometimes talk you out of things, right? And the challenges ahead and the truth. Okay, honesty and truth. That's what the sword carries. And then the pentacle is about self care. You have to also remember to take care of yourself on this journey. You can't just go off and spend all your resources, all your time, and everything on something. You need to take care of yourself and remember who you are, right? That's that. And it's a slow, grounded, steady movement ahead. There's no rush, It's slow and steady, and you're realizing your resourcefulness too. You're starting to give yourself credit for things. So if you were to write down, you could make a couple of lists, okay? And think about what your resources are. So if it's a transportation issue, is there a bus stop nearby? Do I have a car? How much would that cost to get my car on the road? What's the insurance rates now? You start looking up that stuff. If it's gardening or medicine or something you want to get into, you start researching that. Also, you can volunteer somewhere at first to learn about what you're interested in, because sometimes once you start doing it, you're like, that's not all that I thought it was. I didn't know there was that. And now you haven't gone and wasted 2 years in school and a lot of money to find out it may not be something you're interested. So it's a good idea to volunteer to investigate more about it. And there's different kinds of resumes to make too. There's resumes about the skills you already have, and this is, probably very practical skills like whatever you're experienced at, whether it's housekeeping or administration. But there's also your spiritual skills, like if you've taken art classes or if you like to play an instrument, do that. You can say places you've played. I also like to make a medicine basket resume, and it's all the spiritual teachings I've had. And there's a lot in there. There's a lot to be able to share and give guidance too. And when I started making a list of all the different teachings I've had and the things I've learned, it was huge. I didn't realize I knew so much until I started writing it down and making a list. So it's a really, really good idea to kind of get everything in front of you. You want to get it all in front of you. Okay, what do I got? What do I still need to get, to know, to learn, to ask questions about? Call Karen and see if she knows, things like that. Sometimes it's about having more money. So maybe you have an extra room you can rent out. Maybe you can downsize, maybe there's education you need to get. Could be an online course, or a friend may know something like that. And that, speaking of a friend, you need to think about who can help you, who knows something about this. Or if you're just sort of, when you're just sort of talking to someone, it's really good to network about what you're looking for, what you're hoping to get into, what you're hoping to learn about. Because quite often people know something or know someone that knows something. They'll say, have you talked to Jim? He's totally into that. And you didn't know because you never spoke about that with this person before. So there's a lot to be said for networking, which is just simply discussion with other people. And it's not sounding vulnerable. It's showing where your passion is, where your drive is now. And a lot of people like do this kind of inner thinking and they think, geez, they probably would be good at that. You can get a lot of support at that time. There's also possibility that someone may want to partner with you on this. So you don't have to take on the whole load of it. They'll say, oh, I'm really interested in that too. Why don't we get together and share ideas and maybe do something together? It's a lot easier to do something when you have someone along with you, okay? To just that other kind of objective view on it, because we don't think of everything. And don't forget, this is the unknown. This is the unknown. We don't know much about this or exactly how to navigate it. And that's okay. That's great, actually. It's kind of exciting, probably. No matter what it is, relationship, job, special interest, spiritual journey, whatever that is, okay? And I also want to mention when you enter the labyrinth, um, usually that is a pilgrimage. So this is also what you could call this is a pilgrimage to find what it is you're seeking. And at times through this pilgrimage, we have to pause and we might have to go back a couple steps and then go ahead again because there's something isn't really fitting. So, we change, we alter the plan. We alter the plan. The plan can be altered. Okay. And then on to the high priestess, which is the third step or in the thing. And that's watching for signs. Okay. Paying attention to the energy. Okay. Is it the right time to call so and so on a full moon when you notice everybody's been agitated? Wait a day or two. Or there's other signs too, like seeing a feather in a path that you're going. When you see that when you stop at the music store with the guitars on sale and there's a feather right there in front of the place. There's little signs out there that show you this is the right direction. This is the right direction you should go because you have a choice. You have 4 different directions you could go in, and there's signs that show you which is the right one for you now at this time. Okay. And you have to watch for them. Sometimes they're subtle, like a feather. I'm trying to think of something else that I got to turn that down. Something else like a rock that says a word in the idea that you have, right near a pathway. It doesn't have to literally be a pathway, but when you go to someone's house to talk to them about something, you see that and you think, oh, yes, this is the place. This is the place I should be. Watch for those signs and also plan again. Okay, plan again, stick to the plan. Now, in the second cycle, it's still the same steps, okay? But this is about choices, the lovers, the chariot, and the strength. And these are about choices, right? What you're going to listen to, where you're going to go. In both of these cards, all 3 of these cards up here, there's something unknown. In the Fool, he's going off, not really paying attention, just knowing that he wants to go. He's seeking. There is the unknown. In the Magician, he has these pillars behind him, and he can't see what's behind him. He can't see every direction. There's still things that are unknown to him, as well as the High Priestess. She's opened up this area, but there's still areas we can't know everything. We can't see everything. Some things are unexpected. So, like I said, in this part of the cycle, this is where you're going to make a choice. You're going to make, it could be a choice in love, choice in direction, and a choice in kind of your attitude, how you're going to try and handle something. Okay. In the first choice, we're deciding whether we're going to go after something we feel completely passionate about, and we can't help it. We know what we feel. We're following our heart here. Okay. And in the chariot, there's 2 horses pulling in either direction, and we're not really making a decision. We're kind of teeter tottering back and forth and not really focusing on which way we want to go, which is the best direction for us. Now, yourself, not everybody else. Sometimes you do have to consider other people, like your parent, if you're taking care of your parent or your children or something like that, if they're living with you. But sometimes you need to think of what's best for me right now. You know what I mean? And so in the chariot, we've finally decided to take the driver's seat, to take control of the reins and actually steer in the direction that we want to go, that where our passion is taking us in the lovers. It's where our passion is taking us into the chariot, and we're going to focus ourselves in a direction. Now, also, don't forget, you may go in a direction like in the labyrinth and get some part way down and say, you know what? I don't think this is the right way. And you're going to go, but you're in control. That's the important thing, is you're in control here. Okay. And then in the strength is also a choice card. And it's a choice to have courage and compassion, or to try and manage, manipulate, and push something in the direction. It's not necessarily natural, you know, and you have a choice here how you're going to handle something like the warthog or like the woman. You know, there's still a lot of passion here in this one. She has the two-sided spiral, which means she's ready to expand. She's also perhaps ready to partner as well, right? And anyway, this is when you lay down your sword and you want to have understanding, try and handle things softly, slow, steady, stay grounded, okay? And then down here in this part of the cycle is the challenge, okay? And here she's at a beginning stage learning alchemy. She's learning how to balance her heart and her mind, the day and the night, medicines, healing. Okay. And so this is a challenge level, and she's ready to be reborn, to seek something new, to shed old skin. And she's ready really to look forward with hope at a new beginning. She's thinking of about all that could be, all the possibilities, all right? And then the second step in the stage is challenge. These are all challenges in this. And the Whistler Nunos were challenging um that dark shadow side of us, and all of us have it, just like we have a light side. We have pluses and minuses, things that we'd put on our resume and things that we wouldn't. But it's also a temptation to give up, to not believe in ourselves. It's not just pulling us to our weaknesses and perhaps people, even people that we start living for others instead of ourselves. It's tempted to fix things, to be the giving up yourself for another. Okay. And what we always need is balance here. And it's also self doubt and limitations. Okay. It takes you off the path, this way of thinking, this way of behaving, this way of investing your time and money. It takes you off the path. It's a challenge. Now, you may go there. You may visit that for a little while, or have been, but it's okay. You can leave anytime. You can leave anytime. And that might be your plan. I'm getting out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. This doesn't feel good. I'm not happy. We lull ourselves into something. And after a while, we realize it's something we don't enjoy, right? So then there is the tower, and the tower is a challenge. The tower is sudden change, and it goes right along in this cycle. Like I said, you realize you're out of here. This is not doing you any good. You are not happy. You're lulled into something. And so the tower comes next, and the tower splits us up, divides us from this foundation that is not solid, that is not where we want to be. You feel trapped in this job, in this relationship, in this whatever it is you're in, and this tower is actually an action card, because whether we choose or don't choose, change is happening, and it's usually for the better, because you weren't happy in the situation you were in. You weren't satisfied, not fully satisfied anymore. Maybe at one point you were, but now it's changed. Now it's different. Now you want something new. You're rebirthing, you've changed, you've evolved a lot, a lot. Okay. And so you're ready for this new cycle. There may be sacrifices too, things you have to leave behind, a relationship, a home, stuff, uh, old friends, many different things. What you thought was your security, what you thought was your safety. Okay. And so this is at this time, the sudden change happens. And when you take a couple steps, you realize, I can't even believe didn't want to leave that, or I sat there for so long. I can't believe I did that. And we realized we could have left or changed so long ago. We could have done it. But sometimes it takes a couple of steps. It takes the tower to kick us in the rear end and said, what are you waiting for? You don't even like it here. What are you waiting for? Why do you keep doing that if you don't like it? So the tower is that push in the right direction. Strength is the push in the right direction. It sometimes takes strength to say sorry. It sometimes takes strength to swallow our pride and and um, have understanding when we're fed up with something. We're thinking, oh God, do I have to hear this again? Or why can't they do anything right? Or whatever it is, we need strength to not need to manage it. You know what I mean? And in the high priestess, we need strength because we need to really believe in our instincts at that time. In the high priestess, we need to believe in who we are. We know who we are now by by the third step. Okay. And we also know we're on the right path, no matter how we got there, no matter, what we have to do now. All three of these are about listening to and paying attention to the signs. Okay. You're being led into the right direction if you watch. The tower is outright throwing you there. And this one here, like, the understanding and the compassion and the handling things with patience, not in your time trying to reframe it. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything in line of how it's written. You can do it in a different way. You just don't have to force everybody else to. You say, no, I'm going to do it like this, and this is how it feels good for me. It's a part of knowing who you are, right? It's a part of knowing that. So let me go. So yeah, I want to know, and also too, the other thing is the challenges on the way. So expect challenges. Where's my list? Oh, here we are. Okay. So, oh yeah, and also too about other people. When you talk to friends, when you network, when you go to maybe a teacher, something that someone that knows about it, they could be a guide for you. Maybe they'll just be inspiration and say, oh my God, I should have thought of that. And when you hear something from someone else, you think, you know what, I'm really going to do it. You just needed that little boost, right? And they might have information that can help you. So, and also I wanted to say about right now where you are in the seeker, in the apprentice, you've heard a drum beating, so to speak. You've heard a distant calling, something calling you, and you're like, do you hear that? Can you hear that? And you pay more attention to it. You don't know where it's coming from or exactly what it is, but there's something. It's a distant calling for you. You know, you're hearing it, right? So, expect changes in stage 2. Expect challenges, I should say. And I want you to really focus what it is, because there's a lot of things you can write down. And I just use scrap pieces of paper and write on the back of it because I find making a list helps me sort it out in my head for myself. Okay. And so when you're focusing on, because I think you kind of have an idea on what you'd like to do. Okay. So if it's a job, you'll start looking up Indeed or whatever the job sites are in your area. You'll start talking to people. You start going to events held by that place or something to do with that place. You may volunteer and you will need to collaborate. Okay. That's collaborating with the resources, with friends, with people. And you need that connection anyway. All of us kind of need it. And you'll need strength too, because there's work involved. And then what do we have? So, yes. Something important to remember is the God of the new cycle, the new belief. No, the God of the old cycle, the old belief often becomes the devil of the new. So when we move into our rebirth, our new cycle, we reject the old, okay? And that's okay. But that's where that strength, that compassion, that understanding comes in. You don't have to hate it. You don't have to, you can just let it go and accept that that was an important cycle for you. There was something you needed to learn in that job, in that relationship, in that place, whatever it was. And yeah, that's that acceptance and forgiveness too that you're going to give yourself. In mythology, sometimes it's not just a regular person that is the seeker. Sometimes it's a god. A god wants a person, wants a relation with a person. So they talk to someone and ask them to help them, or they want to own something like the golden fleece. They want to pursue another person. They want to own property or seek to be a guide, seek higher spirituality, evolve in that way. But all of us on the journey require help. We don't just do it alone. We collaborate, we network with others, and we get ourselves out. So, say you're seeking a relationship, okay? And currently, you stay at home most nights and watch Dateline or you watch, whatever Game of Thrones or whatever it is you really like to watch. But nobody's going to come knocking on your door looking for you. You need to get out there. So, what is it that you're interested in? Are you interested in darts or playing cards? Are you interested in dancing? Are you interested in art or in music? Well, start going to events that are about that particular thing, whether it's the library hosts a lot of things like that. Um, Sometimes galleries are free on a certain day of the week. There's no charge on Wednesday from 3 to 7 or something like that. And so you can go and enjoy art. You can go see musicians, and just drink pop or coffee. But the thing is you're going to meet people at these events that are interested in the same things you are. That's why they've gone to see that band. That's why they've gone to see that art. That's why they've taken that class too. That's why they've sought out that, whatever it is. Start putting yourself in those places. Start getting to know people, reaching out, and you're going to feel, I think a lot more will grow out of these events and opportunities. And also, I think you'll start to see signs. You'll start to see signs that let you know, is this the right way or the wrong way? You know what I mean? Sometimes it may not be exactly the right place. You'll go to a place and you'll just say, oh, geez, no, people aren't really friendly here. And so you'll try a different place, Oh, I really like it here. It's all different music, not my preferred music, but at least it's music and everyone's really nice. You know, just think, sort of play with it a little bit. And like I said, talk to people, ask questions. Usually people are really willing to help, talk to you, relay what they know, because we all like to think we know a lot. So that's a really good idea for you. And so everyone is looking, not just the underdog, not just the normal person. Successful people are looking for this new direction and require collaboration, require our help or others' help in going to the next step in the path, in the journey. Okay. And um, so just watch for the signs, have courage and compassion, and be prepared for challenges and sudden change. But first, I want you to make your plan. I want you to write out what your focus is, what you'd really like in your life now. Okay. I'd like to work somewhere else. I'd like to meet somebody. I'd like to get involved in that. Okay. Or get out of this, whatever it is. That's what my goal is. Okay. So now I'm going to break it down into steps of that goal. So, where do I go to meet somebody? Who do I talk to? How do I get there? You break it down, but you need the goal first. And then you can even break those 3 steps. Where do I go? How do I get there? Who do I talk to? Into more subcategories that you can break down, because with each thing, there are other things that need to be done in order to accomplish those little goals to get us to the big goal. I like to make a master list of everything I can think of. And then from that master list, I make a few smaller lists and break it down. Okay, well, I want to get the house tidied up. What does that involve? Okay, I got to clean the bathroom and sweep the floors and da 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 da. I want to get a new job. Well, first I need to work on my resume and update it and kind of get it going with, what do they look like now? Look them up online, see what resumes look like for that particular job. Where could I volunteer? What are the different locations for the possible places I could work? Start breaking that down. And if it's a relationship, like I said, you break it down as, I'm going to go start meeting people. I meet people and maybe they'll introduce me to people that'll introduce me to somebody. Or maybe I'll just meet them nowhere near that. But anyway, you're getting out and inviting opportunity chances to make what you want to happen happen. Okay? So I really hope this has helped you guys, because sometimes it's hard to break it down. It's hard to figure out, where do I go from here? I don't know what the hell to do. And if anyone wants to contact me and talk to me, because I used to be a social worker before I was a tarot reader. And so this is what I'd help people with, making a plan to get to what the goal is. We did goal planning a lot, and it's just really breaking it down into steps of, what do I have? What do I need? Who do I talk to? It's as simple as that. But, it's all the details within that happen one step at a time. And I can help you with that if you want, you know. But anyway, I hope you liked this video, and I hope it helps you. And it was kind of fun doing it because it helped me really remember my own system for breaking things down. In this instance, I used the tarot, you know. In another instance, I could use an actual goal. What is an actual goal? And I could make one up and we could go through it. How am I going to get there? This goal planning, how will I get there? Because that's where you are, most of you, in one section of the cycle, depending on how old you are at this time. So let me know. I'm really interested to hear. So, oh, I'm glad, Max. That's awesome. And Fremantle, Perth. So, Sophie, is that Australia? Perth, Australia? Is that where you are? I can't remember. Thank you, Tracy. I really appreciate that. You just started, Iveta, you decided to learn Reiki and start your own business. Right on. That's a great idea, especially doing healing and energy work. Anyone, if you're interested in doing something like that, working with energy, working with medicines, or to, like, usually it's self-interest, like we're really interested in it and it makes us feel good and we like doing it, and so therefore you get the experience to actually want to share it with people, because that's part of the passion. You're thinking, I'd love to show the benefits of this to everyone. I'd like other people to know, and I'd love to do this for a living. I feel so passionate about it. And there's nothing better than getting a service from someone who feels passionate about what they do, rather than um, someone who's doing it for the money. They're money, 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 money. And someone who's doing it for the passion are two different acts of service completely. And you can feel it from the person too, you can. You feel well taken care of. And you don't feel nervous about asking for help or asking more questions, because they really want to help with whatever it is you're seeking. So, anyway, I think that's incredible what you're doing. And you're already on, you know, you've become the magician because you learned the Reiki. You're realizing the skills and tools you have to offer. And then in the high priestess, she wants to share. She wants to harness that energy. Okay. And she also has the book of wisdom in front of her. And the book of wisdom is something that we make with our knowledge. We realize what we know. And that's what I'm telling you about making these lists or resume, realizing what we know, what we have to offer and give and share. And that's what the high priestess has right there. Plus, she's listening to the signs, watching for the signs, listening to the energy, and just welcoming. She's like a cup. Her arms form a cup, and that is open and welcoming more, ready for more, ready to listen. It's really exciting. I'm excited. I hope you are. So this is where I figure you are right now, okay? And then in the next video, I'm going to go on to the next step, the next 3 steps where you need to go from here. I'm hoping to do it sooner now that I've kind of got the system, but I'd like to explain it in a few different ways, not just the tarot. I know you guys love the tarot, but because some of us need to see something from a different angle to kind of get it, what's going on. And I'd like to have sort of a linear example. And also this is kind of a, but like I said, the major arcana is our journey through lessons in our life and goals and how we get there and what we need to do to get there. Because and I don't know if you've noticed, but the odd numbers are usually challenges or work that we need to do, something we need to overcome. The 1, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9. And the even numbers are usually a pause where we make a decision, we get help, we um, collaborate, we build or work on something, we're accumulating something at that time, getting recognition, building our resources, and so that we're ready for that next challenge, so that we're ready for the 3, we're ready for the 5, we're ready for the 7, and expect challenges, expect them. Okay, because that's what you're learning all this stuff for. That's why you stop there to pick that up. That's why you overheard that, because you learned something from that. You know, it's all for a reason. Okay. Anyway, I can't even believe I talked for 50 minutes. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to be 10 minutes and then I'm going to be done. That's really nice. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said, Iveta, when you feel passionate about that, people feel it too, and they feel good and they feel safe with you, you know, getting the service from you because you feel passionate about it. Okay. So, anyway, guys, I hope this helps. And like I said, if anyone would, it says in the bottom, I still do readings, tarot and cartomancy readings. So you can contact me for a reading. But you can also talk to me about goal planning as well if you'd like help moving in that area more on a linear level, on a real planning level, active level, let's say. So just let me know. Anyway, I love you so much. Hopefully, next time the hair will be a bit better, not so crazy. Have a great night. Well, it's night here. Anyway, love you. Bye now.